Good morning. I kid you not, I washed my car like 2 days ago. Sun killed it. This weather killed it. And I have a black car, so it gets dirty really, really fast. At this point, it's probably not even worth washing. I just do it because I don't want the paint to like fall off and stuff. I think that's what happens. Like that car over there behind me, the paint is like fading off. I don't want that to happen to my car. So that's why I constantly wash it. But we're back at Universal. I'm a little tired because of yesterday's Disney trip. We stayed till closing once again, and I woke up a little early today. It's about 12 p.m. now. I went to the gym. I got all my routine stuff done, and now I'm at the park. So let's go have some fun. By the way, today is August 15, and it's officially Pass Member Appreciation Days until the 30th of September. So if you do scan in with your annual pass in the parking area, they'll give you a little flyer. Holy smokes, look at the terms and conditions. That's crazy. They'll give you a little flyer showing what you could do. And I'm so happy they're doing this. That's a great way of staying loyal to their past members. Other theme parks don't really do this. I think like Knott's has something for their pass holders, but Disney doesn't. Universal is one of the parks that really do care about the pass holders, and there's so many things that we can do as pass holders, so I'm gonna go over all of that right now. So the first thing on our list is that we could get 15% off on a milkshake at Toothsome. Usually in CityWalk, it's about a 10% discount on everything. Usually, there's some restaurants and stores that don't allow the discount because they're not owned directly by Universal, or they just don't honor it. Like Antojitos, Vivo, Margaritaville, Toothsome, they all allow your annual pass discount, but it's 10% instead of 15% off. And obviously, it's only applicable if you're a gold or platinum pass member. All right, I just noticed I'm going the wrong way. I was gonna go to Voodoo Doughnut, and I realized it's just muscle memory to just head straight to the park when I first enter CityWalk. But next up, we're gonna head to Voodoo Doughnut because there's a secret donut specifically designed for pass members, and then we could also receive a 15% discount on that Voodoo Doughnut. So let's go do that. All right, heading to Voodoo, I almost called it doo-doo. Voodoo Doughnut right now. And I noticed that the smoke on the little spires are on. We don't really see that too often at Toothsome. I think it's really nice. But there's a lot more to the building that hasn't really worked since it opened. Like the gears around the sign, those used to spin around, they don't move around. There used to be so much kinetic energy, and those are just not activated anymore. Like those gears on the side, or whatever these are called, those spin around. This is supposed to like puff smoke out. I think on the sign itself, maybe it's moving right now. Oh no, it's not. There's the gears on the sign as well. Those are supposed to spin around. And then obviously the two spires have smoke on top right now. So it's just really weird that not everything's working outside of the facade. Maybe they're having some issues, or maybe they just generally forget to turn them on. I bet there's just like a switch that they need to flick to turn everything on, and maybe someone or the person that opens the store in the morning forgets to switch it on. I don't know. Also, I wanted to mention Celebrity Authentics is still closed. They haven't opened it quite yet. All right, it is Voodoo Doughnut's time. Let's go ahead and enter. I haven't had Voodoo Doughnut in a quick second. Right, so they ended up not having the pass member donut. They said they'll try to bring it out later on this week. It is still the first day, so maybe some of these perks come in a little later, and maybe some of the venues aren't aware of it quite yet. But I did ask what flavor it's gonna be, and the team member was nice enough to check. He said it's gonna be like a blueberry flavored donut. So I'm kind of glad I didn't get it because I don't really like blueberry that much. But there's filling, he said, and it's gonna have a really nice design on the top. So I'll come check it out whenever it is available. But I probably won't purchase it. Maybe I'll take a bite. Who knows? But I didn't leave empty-handed. It's kind of melting in my hand right now. I picked up the double chocolate cake donut. I love chocolate cake donuts. They're so good. I'm not a big chocolate fanatic, but anything chocolate on donuts I love. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Yeah, it's good. It's a little cold, but it is good. Alright, so we just wrapped up here at Voodoo Doughnut. Another donut I would highly recommend is the Dirt Donut. That's my personal favorite donut to get at Voodoo Doughnut. I didn't get it today because it's a little high in calories, and I know I'm going to be trying a lot of things today, most likely. Totally dropped the flyer there. But yeah, it's a cookies and cream donut, and that's my favorite. I love cookies and cream. It's anything cookies and cream I'll eat, like ice cream, cookies and cream beignets, cookies and cream donuts. I'm here for it. Just made it into Toothsome Chocolate Emporium and Savory Feast Kitchen. It's a long name. On the flyer, it says complimentary chef selected appetizer with purchase of 2 or more adult entrees at participating restaurants, including Toothsome Chocolate Emporium, and yeah, that's it. It made it seem like there was more than one restaurant that offered this. So essentially, if you get 2 adult-sized entrees, you'll get an appetizer for free. Also, they introduced a new milkshake that I most likely won't buy because I just had that donut, but it is a bread pudding flavored milkshake. So that's really interesting. It's only offered until August 30th. So make sure to grab that before August 30th. Also, the Rocket Pop, which is my personal favorite milkshake, will be discontinued after August 30th. It's only for the 30th anniversary of Toothsome. I'm really bummed out about that one because it's my favorite milkshake. I hope sometime in the future they could bring that back, because I think in the last month I've had it about 2 or 3 times. Alright, so gonna head into the park now. Playing one of my favorite songs here. I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a... Okay, I'm done. I'm probably gonna get copyrighted here. It's funny. It's always around this time that they start performing refurbishments on the water fountain in CityWalk. It's also very strange to see this all dry. But last year they had a really extensive refurbishment on those fountains. I think it went through Horror Nights and it reopened in late December. So I hope that's not the case again this year. I do want to run through it a few times before Horror Nights starts. Oh, I keep dropping this. All right, so I was reading through that flyer and I found something interesting. On number 9, it says save $100 for a 1 daytime VIP experience ticket upgrade on your valid annual or season pass. Must check for same-day VIP experience tour availability at the front gate. So you can only do this at the gate. You can only use this at the gate, so you wouldn't be able to purchase it online. You won't be able to plan ahead of time. You just kind of have to get lucky. If it's not sold out in the morning, I highly recommend coming in the morning for that. If it's not sold out in the morning, you'll be able to save up to $100, which caught my eye because I've never done a VIP tour here at Universal. Hopefully one of these days I can do one, and if it's $100 cheaper, I feel like maybe I can afford to put it on my credit card. But I've only heard great things about the VIP tour. One thing that also caught my eye from the VIP tour is it includes Unlimited Express onto the Mario Kart ride, and I feel like I haven't been able to ride that ride enough or as much as I'd like to. So it'd be worth it. Just that alone would make the whole VIP experience worth it. And then also you get to walk around the back lots, you get a guided tour. I have done the RIP tour in 2018 for Halloween Horror Nights, and that's just slightly different compared to the regular daytime VIP tour. Now, on the topic of Halloween Horror Nights, I also want to talk about another pass member perk you have with this. So they're doing daytime or lights on run-throughs of the Stranger Things haunted house this year, and you can reserve it right now. They actually just opened up reservations this morning, and you can find those reservations for the Stranger Things Lights On tour on UniversalStudiosHollywood.com's website. If you scroll down a little bit, there'll be a little site that says Past Member Appreciation Days, And once you enter that page, just scroll down a little more and they'll have more info about how to RSVP for that Stranger Things Lights On tour. It's completely free. As long as you're a pass holder, you'll be all right. I'm actually not too sure if it works for the California Neighbor Pass, but I know for the Silver, Gold, and Platinum Pass, it works 100%. All right, so our next pass member perk is that we get magnets, little Nintendo magnets. So on the 1st through the 15th of September, they're gonna be giving out Luigi magnets. Hold on, let me double check. Princess Peach magnets, not Luigi. But that's September 1st through the 15th. On the 16th of September through the 30th, they'll be giving out Luigi magnets. And remember, it's first come, first serve. They only have a limited quantity. So I'd highly recommend visiting probably on the first day for both magnets if you want a free magnet. You can find that at the Universal Studios Hollywood store or the Universal Studios store. And inside of there, just go to the registers and ask for the pass member appreciation magnet. And they'll just bring it out for you. You don't need to pay or anything. They'll just scan your pass. As long as you're a silver, gold, or platinum annual pass holder, you'll be able to qualify for that. Since Horror Nights is getting closer and closer, I just want to check up in the Universal Studios store to see if they have any new merchandise. Because every time they announce a haunted house, for most of the haunted houses at least, they drop a small piece of merchandise to promote it. I mean, right off the bat, it doesn't look like there's anything new. Just a ton of Jurassic Park stuff, obviously for the 30th anniversary, which just passed by a month ago. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's any new Horror Nights merchandise quite yet. I think they're just gonna wait until a week before Horror Nights. That's typically when they set up all the Horror Nights merchandise. And based on last year, it took up half of the Universal Studios store. So I'd imagine just this year, it might even be a little more than half of the Universal Studios store. But then again, they don't have Production Central. Actually, they had so much merchandise last year that they had to utilize some of the other stores to put out different quantities and more Horror Nights merch. Like last year, they used Jurassic Outfitters, which was really interesting. They used Jurassic Outfitters to sell Horror Nights merch, which I don't think they've ever done. But this year, it's a large event. I mean, we have Stranger Things, we have Last of Us, we have Chucky, 3 huge IPs. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Also, since we're in the retail store, the flyer says receive $20 off your retail merchandise purchase when you spend $100 or more on eligible retail merchandise at the Universal Studios store inside of the park. So in this store, if your purchase is over $100, you receive $20 off. I don't know if it's $20 on top of your discount. I'm pretty sure it's either $20 off or your discount. I mean, if your order is over $150, it's worth it to use your pass holder discount because I feel like it would be a little more than $20 you'd be saving. But if you're spending like $100 instead of $15 off, it'll be $20. So it's a $5 bonus onto your pass member discount. All right, now I'm gonna walk across the street to Hollywood and Dine because they sell the Coca-Cola Freestyle souvenir cup. And so if you buy one Coke Freestyle souvenir cup, you get the second one for 50% off if you're a annual pass holder. And also, for that first one you buy, you can still use your 15% discount on it, and it'll bring the price down by a lot. Also, if you visit the next day or the day after or just whenever, it's $10 to get unlimited refills for the day per day. And you can also use your annual pass discount on that $10 fee if you do revisit the park and plan to reactivate that souvenir cup. We have Dracula over here avoiding the sun just a little bit because it is a little toasty outside. And also, I don't think vampires like the sun. We still don't have any info. What's happening? We don't have any info on this building over here. This facade has been under refurb for quite a while. So we'll see what happens. I did tweet out John Murdy, the creative director of Halloween Horror Nights, if we'll be receiving the fire towers again this year. He said yes. They're trying to figure out how to do it with the construction over here. They might move it forward, they might move it backward. We'll see what happens. But they will also have that little mini scare. I want to say scaremony, but it's not really a scaremony. At 8 o'clock, and then every hour after 8 o'clock. So 9, 10, 11, and then 12 will be the final scaremony every night. So Horror Nights announced their full lineup, but they haven't announced any shows quite yet. We don't know if there's going to be any shows in general, because special effects, that's usually where they would have any of their Horror Night shows. It's torn down. So we'll see what happens. They still haven't announced anything, and we're getting pretty close to the event, so we don't know if there's going to be a show this year. But I feel like if they really wanted to put a show, they could probably use the Waterworld Theater. Or maybe, I don't know. When I used to work here, they used to have like little movies play at night in the Kung Fu Panda Theater. Like they would just project movies onto the screen like once a month or so. So maybe they could do like a little show in there. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. But yeah, normally we would have the Jabberwocky show. They've been doing it every year since 2014. They also haven't announced the main scare zone on the upper lot. They announced that scare zone way down there. It's going to be themed to the Latin American mumias, the mummies. And so we'll see what happens. I'm sure they'll have a main scare zone. They'll never not do a scare zone in the front of the park. I think we'll get an announcement maybe next week, since the event's in like 20 days now. But if you didn't watch the last update, this is the scare zone, the Mumias scare zone. They haven't really set up many decorations quite yet. They just have these little boxes. And they've been doing this every year. Every year. It's always the same. They just switch out the posters inside of the little boxes. I hope they add more to that. Maybe like some barrels and like some skeletons around. Maybe some mummy coffins and stuff. I don't know what they could do. But yeah, it's pretty bland. I'm not a big fan of these like boxed scare zones. Anywho, we're gonna head into Super Silly Funland because on the flyer it says if you buy one carnival game play in the theme park, you get a second one for free. And you can play a second game for free. I'm probably not gonna do that because the price for one little game is like $18 and you can't use your discount on the carnival games, which is a little unfortunate. But it is cool that you get a second one for free. And that's all the information you need to know for past member appreciation days. By the way, I am standing right now outside of Monstros, the Monsters of Latin America. One of my most anticipated haunted houses for this year's Horror Nights. I'm pretty confident that this will probably be the scariest haunted house inside of the theme park. It might be either this or Evil Dead Rise, which will be in the former Walking Dead attraction space. Right over there. You can already see that they've set up lighting for the queue up there, which is nice. I'm so excited for this one. I think if you haven't seen Evil Dead Rise, I think that's probably one of the scariest horror movies that came out this year. Look, there's Scooby. He's shaking right now. He's scared. Scooby is scared. Universal fans rejoice because the Fast and Furious X promotional little setup they had here is gone. We finally have the regular Plaza music playing, and it's looking great. It's looking great. I love it. No more Fast and Furious here. I'm not a Fast and Furious hater. I actually really liked Fast X, but it was here for so long. It was here for so long. They had it throughout the entire summer. They should have done the same car display, but like have different displays for each car around each corner of the plaza. And then maybe they could have added like Dom's barbecue. They could have had like a little Dom's barbecue stand down there selling burgers and hot dogs and stuff like straight off the grill. That would have been cool. Obviously they're so limited to what they could do. This was just a movie promotional, but they could have somehow added a little more theme parkness to it, you know? Maybe next year when Fast X Part 2 comes out. Is it next year or in 2 years? I don't know. Whenever Fast X Part 2 comes out, they could do something like that. That'd be cool. If you guys haven't noticed already, the floor is different over here in the plaza. And they went through a pretty hefty refurbishment throughout the first quarter of the year. I think until April, I want to say, they redid the floor. They removed the fountains that used to be over here, and oh my gosh, the fountains would have been perfect. It would have added so much ambiance to the area, because right now it's so hot. It's so hot and so like gray. I feel like this area is a little too gray. I really like what they did a few years ago, maybe in 2015 or 16. They added a little DreamWorks meet and greet in the plaza. So each corner had different DreamWorks meet and greet areas with little facades in front of them. And it would have been cool if they moved that into this section, just to add a little more to see and do in the plaza. Or maybe one day in the future they can even add like a huge water fountain or a body of water, and do like water fountains popping up, like kind of like how you would see at the Americana or the Grove if you've ever been. And at night they can add string lights, they can add lights in the fountain to interact with the music around it. At this point, I should just be the president of Universal, making these executive decisions, right? Who's with me? No one? I saw a few of you guys comment that. Okay, cool. All right, let's continue with more updates right now. I know throughout this video I've been complaining about the heat a lot. And some of you are probably thinking, JP, you're complaining about the heat? Why are you wearing a jacket? And it's because it's the outfit of the day. I have to commit to it. If you follow me on Instagram, I call it the Utada, OOTD. I call it the Utada. And you know, whenever you select your Utada, you have to commit to it. And here's your current look at the Fast and Furious roller coaster that's being built. They're still in the deconstruction phase of it all, but they're working pretty darn fast. See, I don't know what those are. Those might be dead bushes. It just looks like a lot of rebar. Just squashed up in old rebar. I wouldn't doubt it. This building has been around for over 30 years. Yeah, it's probably rebar. But take a look down here. All the trees have been cut down. It's looking really, really nice. All right, I'm gonna stop talking for a quick second so I can zoom onto this and show you guys what's going on. Now, I'm a little surprised with the current state of the crowds here at Universal. As you can see, there's a lot of people right now, and there's currently a Waterworld show going on right now, so that holds up to 3,000 people. So I don't know how it's this busy in the theme park. Summer break is over for many, but look at the wait times, average of an hour, which is nuts. Is this our new normal? I hope not, because the park next week starts closing at 7. But if it's gonna remain this busy and the park closes at 7 and opens at 9, what's gonna happen? How are we gonna do, or how are we gonna spend the whole day in the park? How are we gonna finish all the rides without Express? That's my biggest concern. So I'm gonna come back next week and make a video trying to do every single ride in a day at Universal when the park closes at 7 p.m. Let's see if it's possible. To my understanding, I think the park hours reflect onto how busy the park is gonna be. We've noticed that last year, like when the park would close at 10 o'clock, it's usually a busier day. When it closed at 7 or 5 o'clock, which is true, sometimes the park closes at 5 o'clock at night. The park is dead, ghost town. We'll see what happens. I hope next week it starts becoming a little less busy. Tonight they close at 8 p.m., but honestly, it still feels worse than a sold out day. It feels like there's more than, I want to say like 28,000 people in the park. And if this is the case, and if they start lowering down the park hours, and it's still busy like this, I wonder how the general public will react when Horror Nights comes around, because usually around Horror Nights time, they close the park around 5 or 6 p.m. Let's say there's 28,000 people inside of the theme park and the park closes at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. And then there's the Horror Nights crowd coming in. Imagine how nuts it's gonna be. It's just gonna be a madhouse. So many people leaving and entering, and the pathways alone are just so small. So we'll see what happens. Guys, I failed you. We have to break the committedness, is that a word? To the Utada, because it is a little too hot. All right, I'm gonna throw this jacket out, but oh my gosh, I'm like sweating. I feel like I'm in a sauna right now. I wish there's a place that sold these water misters, because they're so good. I used to actually do like catering and set up like tents and chairs and stuff for movie production. That was one of the jobs I had last summer. Right now everything's slowed down because of the SAG and the WGA strikes. So there's literally nothing happening right now. I have no work. And right now I'm actually trying to get into Local 44 to do some like set design and stuff for movies. But things have been so difficult with these strikes. I'm waiting for them to end, and that way I can have a job, you know? Right now it's not really ideal. But here's the current look on whatever is happening over here for the Fast and Furious coaster. It's really interesting how they built railings on top of the railings with wood. I don't know if that's on purpose, or I don't know. I don't know how construction works. At least to build a roller coaster, like when it comes down to set design and stuff, I know, but it's really interesting. I don't know why they would put a railing there. But that'll wrap up today's video here at Universal. I hope you guys enjoyed today's update and you found it informative. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section. I'm JP. I'll see you in the next one.